Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. We had a break for 2 weeks, and I hope that you have been working out. Today, we'll be doing a 45-minute basic Pilates class. So let's get started, shall we? My name is Felicia. Again, thank you for joining me. So let's come with feet hip-width apart. So feet just stepping underneath your hip bones or your pelvic bones, actually. Shoulders melting away from your ears, just allowing yourself to feel the foundation of the ground itself. So 3 foot centers would mean the fleshy part underneath your big toe, last toe, and heel. So I want you to feel your 3 foot centers just rooting in towards the earth, okay? Then gently allow the eyes to close, maybe just for a minute or two. Noticing your breath in through your nose. In Pilates, our breath is in through the nose. The exhale is out through the mouth. Just breathe nice and easy. Just allowing the breath to move smoothly in and out of your body. Now, with or without your eyes closed, as you inhale, sweep both arms all the way up. Then as you exhale, press down right in front of you. Keep going like this. Inhale, sweep arms all the way up. Then exhale, energetically pressing down. Keep going. So I always mention this in class. Imagine that you're actually in mud and you're trying to lift very heavy mud up as you inhale and as you lift your arms up. Then as you exhale, pressing down nice and easy. You got 2 more times here. Inhale, arms reaching way up high. Exhale, pressing down. Last one here. Inhale, arms reaching up high. Now as you exhale, cactus your arms, elbows by the side of your shoulders. I'm going to turn around, but you don't have to. As you inhale, elbows pull back, shoulder blades closes in, lift your chin slightly. You are actually doing a slight back bend through your upper spine. So try not to dump the weight into your lower spine. We are just opening up through the heart. Then as you exhale, rounding in, elbows and pinky to touch. 2 more times. Inhale, chest opens. Exhale, rounding in. 1 more time here. Inhale, chest opens. Exhale, rounding in. Next time you inhale, both arms up. Now, as you exhale, hands behind your lower back, interlace all 10 fingers. If you can touch the heels of your palms, by all means do so. Then push your knuckles down, extending through the elbows. Hold it here. Just finding that little bit of softness through the shoulders, finding the openness in the front of your heart as well. So I reckon the past 2 weeks has been quite unnerving for a lot of us, especially with all the news that's going on. My take on that is that perhaps it's time to actually allow ourselves to just slide into whatever situation we're in. Yeah. So no need to keep stressing ourselves out too much, perhaps. So right now, if you feel like your mind is all over the place, you're always worried, can I invite you just allow your mind and your body to just be present. As we inhale, arms all the way up. Then as you exhale, right hand grabbing onto left, side bend towards your right. Starting to notice again your left rib cage just opening, breathing well. That's it. Next time you inhale, both arms up, left hand grabbing onto right, side bend towards the left. That's it. Take 1 more breath in here. 1 more breath out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands by the side. Shoulder roll, just allowing the shoulders to move back in circles, bringing your shoulders a little bit closer towards your ears each time you roll, then change direction, roll forward. That's it. Keep going like this, all right? Now 1 breath in here, inhale, arms up. Then exhale, release everything. Great work. So as you can see, I have props around me. So in case you do need external resources to help you to get into certain postures a little bit easier, I recommend that you do actually have something like blocks or substitute it with perhaps very thick books or even rolled out towels that are really rolled out to a point that it is quite firm. Okay. I also have a chair here that I'm going to show you in case you do need a chair to support you. This is a high chair. The seat is facing towards me. So if you have a lower chair, the normal ones that sits at your dining table, then please turn it around. The back of the chair faces towards you. Okay? So whenever I face you, I'm your mirror image. My left hand is your right. Vice versa. But when I'm facing towards the top of the mat or the back of the mat, then I'll be the same direction as you. So my right will be your right. Okay? Inhale, arms up again. Exhale, hands by the side. Now take an inhale through your nose. As you exhale, chin towards your chest. Simple roll downs, allowing the spine to peel off an imaginary wall. Soften your kneecaps. Then as you pick yourself up, slowly start to stack your spine bones up from lower spine to mid spine to upper spine to back of the skull. We're going to do that again, alright? Inhale, exhale, chin towards your chest. Imagine again that you are literally just peeling your spine off an imaginary wall. Soften your knees as much as you need to. Now, some of you might actually be looking onto the mat such that you actually do this. You strain the back of your neck by looking this way. Can I have your chin towards your chest, allowing the crown of the head to point down towards the ground? Keep breathing. So you want to stack your lower spine onto the imaginary wall first. Mid-spine, upper spine, back of the skull. One more time. This is called Pilates roll down. So you're simply rolling down, as the name suggests. But one of the main things that I want you to focus on is that concentration of being able to peel your spine bones down. Then slowly rising up, bone by bone, just breathing in nice and deep, in through your nose, exhale out through your mouth. Great work. This time round, standing to face towards me. Now I'd like you to shift your weight towards your right foot, come onto left tiptoes, okay? Now at this point of time, if you find that you're quite wobbly, left tiptoes can stay on the mat itself. If you're ready for something a little bit more, lift the knee in front of the hip. Option, you can always have your hand on something like a chair, or if you want to, you can always drag your mat close to a wall. Your hand can always be on the wall to support you, especially if you feel that balance is not something that you are actually ready to do today. Okay, so knee preferably in front of your hip. However, it's okay if your knee comes to this and this is your maximum. It's completely legit, alright? So you want to take the knee out towards the side, hips still pointing forward, then hug it back in. Starting to notice as you draw your knee towards your left, you're starting to feel a little bit of a stretch through your inner thigh. There is a tendency that your hips, where I'm actually holding on to right now, might want to turn towards the direction of that knee, but can we keep it in place, alright? So have your finger on that left hip, allowing the thumb to push the hip forward anytime the hip wants to roll back. Does that make sense? Yeah? So your hands are like a checker to allow the hips to keep pointing forward. Then you're going to start to notice you're starting to use a little bit more effort to just take the knee out towards the left. That's it. Keep going. Alright? Now standing knee, which is the one I'm pointing to right now, which is your right knee, should be slightly soft. Soft doesn't mean that it's super bent, but it's just that you're not straightening to a point that you're pushing the back of your kneecap backwards. Keep going. Keep going. So no hyperextension of your joints. You got 2 more times here. Great work. Now last one, you're going to open the knee out towards the side. Hold it there just for 1 extra breath. Then as you exhale, hug it back towards the middle. Hold it here first. We're going to straighten and point the toes 45 degrees down. Then bend the knee again. So from side profile, it looks something like this. Straighten the leg, point the toes down 45. Re-bend the knee in front of your hips. Again, if you need to tap your toes on the mat, by all means do so. So what I mean would be something like this. You can tap the toes onto the mat, then maybe re-bend, drag the knee back in. If balance is something that is quite challenging for you today, please start with basic foundation first. Do exactly what I'm doing, alright? So for regulars, if you're feeling quite strong today, just point the toes down, then knee lifts up again. That's it, keep going. So because I don't really know how many of you are seasoned, I would say Pilates participants, and how many of you are beginners, I'm going to give you various options. My new friends, please remember, there is no point always doing the hardest option, especially if your foundations are not right, okay? So I'm going to give you an option right now. You're going to straighten your leg 45 degrees and hold it there, okay? Now, if this is good enough for you, just stay here because this works the front of your thigh. Now, regulars, I'd like you to have the leg straight, lift the leg up, then bring it down again. So this is not compulsory. If you're doing the same like me, please make sure you're not leaning back in order to bring the leg up, because if you're doing that, then it kind of defeats the purpose of feeling that stretch through the back of your thigh, your hamstring. And also, standing up tall really works the front of the thigh as you lift that leg up. Nice and easy. Keep smiling. Keep breathing. I know, starting to burn, right? One more time here. Lift up. Can we stay for an extra breath? If you're with me. Everyone, bend the knee. Step it down. Shake it out. Great work. Nice and easy. We're going to repeat exactly the same thing on the other side. So stepping onto your left foot, come onto right tiptoes. Again, chair can come the other way around. Hand can hold onto the chair. Or if you prefer, just turn around and just listen to my cues, alright? Especially if you can't see me. Okay? I'll be doing the harder option with hands on my hips. So when you're ready, take the knee in front of your hip. If you don't like this option, remember toes can stay down onto the mat. Get ready. Fingers as a checker to make sure hips do not move. Knee to open out towards your right. Come back in again. That's it. So ideally, you should feel a stretch and a contraction through your inner thigh. Just starting to notice your breath as you move along. So this side, you already know what to expect. So your body actually is in tune with the movements that you're doing. Your mind actually knows, okay? So we're going to put a little bit more attention to our breath. Are you holding your breath? Because if you are, then perhaps you have to take it one notch down to a lesser option of tapping the toes down towards the ground, or maybe somewhere halfway in between, like this. Kneecap point down. Notice my toes are still hovering above the mat, but my knee is not in front of my hips. Keep going like this, okay? Now, standing knee is soft, so that is your left knee. So don't hyperextend that kneecap. That's it. Doesn't matter where you breathe in or out, as long as you're breathing and you're not holding your breath. You got 3 more here. Great work. You got 2 more here. Shoulders melting away from your ears in case they're cringing up towards your ear. One more time. Hold it open. Stay there for an extra breath here. Then exhale, come back in towards the middle. Now from here, straighten the leg point down 45 degrees, rebend. So from side profile again, straighten 45 degrees, then rebend the knee. Okay? So I want you to feel that lift of the knee up in front of your hip, nothing higher. Option, you can always tap the toes down onto the mat, then gentle lift up again. Okay? Or you can tap the toes down the mat, drag it back to bend the knee. This option works as well. Okay? So starting to notice what works for you today, especially if you're new to Pilates. My aim is to let you understand your body a little bit more. It's not about how much you sweat today, okay? Or how achy you feel the next day. It's all about foundations, because when you have the right foundations, as you move along, you're going to start to notice that things naturally becomes a little bit stronger, and you can actually take the harder options without injuring yourself. Keep going. Now you got 1 more time. You're going to straighten point 45 degrees, stay and hold. Now either stay here with a smile on your face and just hold it there, or if you'd like to come with me, lift the leg up, bring it down. So try not to lean back. It's a simple lift of that leg up. So front of the thigh working, and the back of the thigh, your glutes as well, needs to lengthen in order for you to take that leg up. So it demands a certain amount of flexibility. Don't beat yourself up if you cannot lift the leg up. It is actually not easy. 1 more time. Lift up, stay there for an extra breath here. Then as you exhale, rebend, release. Shake it out. Well done. Okay, so we're coming into a wide-legged squat. So we're still working into your lower body, because your biggest muscles in the body, actually, they are in your legs. Alright? So knees bend, sweep hands forward, leaning back onto an imaginary wall. I'll show you from side profile. Usually, when I do notice people doing squats, they like to do something like this. It gives you a false sense of a false sense of putting in a lot of effort, because you feel as if from your eye gaze that you're moving very deep, but all you're doing is to bow forward through the hips. So instead of that, I want you to lean your back against an imaginary wall, slide down the imaginary wall, and take yourself back up again. Okay? If your knees hurt, do you go so deep? No, you don't. In fact, if your knees really hurt, perhaps it would be a good idea to just lean your spine against a wall and just stay in one position without going up and down. Naturally, when you come down by leaning against the wall, you will already be working the front of your thigh, your quadriceps. Keep going. Starting to notice knees are pointing outwards in line with your middle toe. That's it. breathing well. So you want to shine the arc of in the inside of your feet towards me. So I can actually see the arc itself pressing and putting a little bit more weight, just slightly more, on the outer side of your feet where your pinky toe is. Now we're going to stay down, hold it down, stay here. Now reach your arms up, then cactus your arms. Now from here, same thing with that we did at the beginning. Open up through the chest, lift the chin, slight bend in the upper spine. As you exhale, scoop the belly in, round the spine. You got 4 more here. Inhale. Open up through the chest, exhale, release. Last one, opening up through the chest, exhale, rounding in. Inhale, arms all the way up. This time, interlace hands behind your lower back. Push your knuckles down, chest forward, hold it here. Again, if you can touch the heel of your palms, by all means do so. Just pressing a little bit more through the outer thigh. Okay? Now from here, keep your knees bent. If you're really tired, you can always rest. All I need you to do is to bow forward, shift the hips back. Yeah? Until your entire torso is parallel to the ground. Then shift yourself back up again. That's it. Keep going like this. I'm going to show you from side profile in a while. You don't have to move yourself. Keep going. So as you bow forward, your entire body is parallel to the ground. Then lifting yourself back up again, looking forward. Just like this, nice and easy. Breathe. So your knuckles, as your body comes down, your knuckles can actually lift off your bum to point up towards the ceiling, but don't collapse in your heart and your shoulders, okay? You got 2 more times here. Bowing forward, knuckles pointing up. Now 1 more time here. Bowing forward, knuckles pointing up. Take yourself back up again. Hold it there. Hands and fingers only on your thighs, okay? This time, hands through the inside of your left knee. Look and face towards your right. So you want to use your palm to push that knee away from you. Then change direction. Other way. That's it. Great work. Now come towards the middle, slowly rise up, feet is still wide. I'm going to face towards the top of my mat, so I'm just going to turn this way. Notice this becomes my back foot, okay? I'm going to step my back foot 1 step towards this way, alright? So just make sure you have a wider stance. Now front knee is bent, back knee is slightly bent as well. Hands on your hips, lengthen through your spine, shoulders down. Now stay here if you find that this is enough for you. If not, come with me. We're going to lower down halfway, then bring it up halfway again. So these are lunges. I know there's a lot of, I would say, different variations and talk about whether your knee goes past your toes or not. I would say you want to lower down and as long as the front knee, when it bends, even if it's going past the toes, it's not going to give you that sense of a sharp pain or close to a sharp pain, okay? And that's okay. If you find that you want to do this, but you cannot find your balance, you can always have your hand on a chair beside you. So you can actually balance yourself out, or maybe even a hand on the wall, then sink it down and up. Gradually, you don't have to go quick. You should actually move quite slowly. So you start to engage a little bit more of your muscles to kind of create that burn, that slow burn itself. Because sometimes when we go fast, right, we create momentum. And that's actually energy that you created to give you that extra boost. So we don't want momentum for now. Fully relying on muscles. 1 more time. Just coming down, hold it here. Now friends who are tired, just stand up and rest. If you want a strong class today, you sink it down low. Arms reaching up overhead, hands to frame your ears. Then guess what? With a flat back, you're going to lean forward 45 degrees, alright? Your both knees are still bent in a low lunge position. Hold it here. Now from here, I'd like you to straighten your back leg. So you're shifting your weight forward. You're bending more into your front knee. Okay, now hands are beside your ear, not in front of your face. So reaching up nice and tall, I want to see a flat back instead of a rounded spine. So this is a rounded spine, not this, but this. Hold it there for 4, that's it. For 3, good. 2 more here. Now listen carefully, palms to frame the front foot. Wiggle the back foot 1 step, 2 step back, then drop the back knee down. So this is quite a long stance. Notice my back knee is not underneath my hips. So not this, but really all the way back. So it's a really long lunge, okay? hold it here. Now, if you're wondering where blocks comes in, if you need a little bit more support, you can use your thick towels or your books or your blocks to kind of lift your chest up. Trust me on this, okay? If you don't have blocks and you're willing to actually be consistent in your Pilates workout or even doing yoga, it's good to invest in buying 2 blocks, and they're not expensive, yeah? Just starting to allow this to lift your chest up, because what happens is that when we dump our weight down, we rely on our thigh to hold our body weight. So that doesn't really work the core. I'd like you to find that sense of lifting up using the muscles in the body. Quite often, our core muscles are seated quite deep within our body, so we may not actually feel them as much. Stay here. Can you feel the stretch? Yeah. One more breath in here. Nice. Now this time round, you're going to use the block still. You're going to straighten the front leg. Then rebend. Now, just be mindful. If the back knee starts to hurt, you might want to pad up your kneecap with an extra towel. Or you might want to double layer your mat so it becomes a little bit thicker. Typically for Pilates, we do go with a slightly thicker mat, around 6 mm, all the way even to 10 mm mats. That's it. Good work. So imagine if your hands are on the ground without the block and you're quite tight, you might only be able to go here without having to straighten the leg. And guess what? That's okay as well, as long as you feel the stretch behind the back of your thighs, alright? Now the next time you straighten the front leg, I'd like you to stay there, hold it there. Starting to just pull the front hip. So my front leg is actually my left leg. Okay, if it's your right leg, then whatever I say, you're going to take it the opposite, okay? So if my left leg is forward, I'm going to pull my left hip back into my hips. Just pulling that thigh bone back into the socket. Just allowing the chest to be more lifted instead of rounding. And of course, having blocks or even books or something to prop you up really helps, especially if you're new to the program. Now this is a hamstring stretch. Then come forward again. Now this time round, I'm going to turn around and come into a kneeling position, okay? So sitting up like this, hold it here. Breathe well, inhale, exhale. We're going to repeat exactly the same thing, so I'm going to stand up on my mat again. When you're ready, take yourself all the way up. So standing onto your mat, we're going to face towards this direction this time round. So my right knee is pointing towards the back of the mat, so this is the back of my mat, okay? So if you were on the other side, just make sure you switch, okay? So I'm going to cue in terms of front leg and back leg. So the front leg is in this direction. It is my right thigh, my right leg. My back leg is where I'm pointing to. Starting to just come into a long stance, hands on your hips, or if you prefer, hold on to a wall, hold on to a chair, something that helps you. Stay here, bend the back knee slightly, then let's go a little bit deeper, halfway up. Keep going. So this is your lunges. Don't go quick, please. I know a lot of you feel that when you go quick, you kind of like take away the discomfort of the workout. But I'm here to invite you to really enjoy every sensation. Be grateful that you can actually start to notice all these sensations in your body. Be grateful that you're healthy enough, fit enough to actually come into this virtual class today and move along with me. So you do know that exercise and movement creates a better health that gives you that sense of, well, not that sense, but rather it's a true thing. It's an immunity itself. So allow your body to just be a little bit stronger by moving daily. Keep going, keep going. You got 2 more here. Nice. Next one, you're going to sink it down, hold it there. Arm reaches up, hands to frame your ears itself, then lean forward 45 degrees. That's it. Breathe. Nice. Now when you're ready, straighten the back leg so you are kind of propelling your weight forward to the front foot, rooting into all 3 foot centers, as I was explaining about 3 foot centers at the beginning of the class. And by the way, if you're joining us for the first time or the first few times of the year, my classes do get a little harder. So if you really want the very, very basic ones, I do recommend that you actually go through the videos that were possibly presented in 3 months back. That's when I really go through the lingo. And once you get the lingo, it's much easier to follow with me. Nice. At the end of your next exhalation, frame the front foot, drop the back knee down, then wiggle the kneecap backwards. Hold it here. If you need blocks along with you, just pick them up. Okay, hold it nice and easy. Starting to notice if you're dumping your weight in your front thigh. If you can, lengthen through your spine. Try not to dump the weight. Hold it there. Just a few more breaths here so we can get a sense of I would say the sense of integration as well. As much as we are sinking the hips forward and down, but there is also a sense of really hugging the inner thighs in towards each other to find the integration. Now the next time you inhale, straighten the front leg. Then bring it back. That's it. Keep going like this. So no jerky movements. Everything is smooth and with control. That's it. Keep going. Now last one, straighten the front leg. Hold it there. Flatten the spine, chin forward slightly. So if you can, flex the front foot up towards the sky. Nice. Maybe shifting the heel forward, dragging that front hip back into the socket. Like I was trying to explain in that previous side. One more breath here. Come forward. Great work. Hands to the inside of the foot itself. Come to the front. Take the knee down. Come into a kneeling position. Great work. So we're going to stay on the ground for the next half of the class. So when you're ready, let me just set my mat. It's a bit crooked. Okay, I'm going to be facing towards this direction, which is the back of my mat. So my toes towards the back of my mat. I'm going to leave it up to you which side you're going to face, but try to do the same leg and arm as me, okay? So just allowing your spine to melt down, hands behind your head. So we're coming into nose to chest, which is the Pilates lingo for crunches, as most people would know it. Hands behind the head, just a cradle the head. You're going to curl your spine up. Slowly uncurl. Keep going like this. So allowing the back of the skull, the neck, the shoulders to lift off the mat. Melting the upper spine down, bone by bone. So once more, an invitation to not go too quick. I'd like you to move as slowly as you can. Every time you move slowly, you start to recruit the muscles that are hard to reach, or rather hard to feel. We are so invested in working out the bigger muscles. It's the one that sits on the surface of our skin. So when we work them, you can actually beautify your body by having those cuts, those chiseled cuts. But the ones that are smaller and more intricate, that goes deeper, closer to your spine, are the ones that actually helps us to hold our posture up. It also allows us to balance a lot better. But because they are much smaller, it takes a while for you to really feel them. And maybe repetitions will allow you to start to get a little bit deeper. Keep going. So lifting the head off, the neck, the shoulders, one bone at a time, articulating through your upper spine. Okay, the next time you curl up, right knee towards your nose like this. Step it down. Left knee towards your nose. Step the foot down. That's it. Keep going. So knee towards your nose. Step it down. Great work. Now starting to just find that burn coming in through your upper abdominals. And as you move that knee towards your nose, it starts to work your lower abdominals. Okay. If you find that this is super easy, I'm going to make the crunches a little bit more difficult. Okay, this time, without lifting the knees, just curl up and hold. Then right leg to tabletop, left leg to tabletop. Stay here. Shin parallel to the ground. Notice my knee is above my hips. Get ready. I'm going to tap the right tiptoes down. Bring it up again. Then left tiptoes. Tap it down. Bring it up. Keep going like this. All the way through. Nice. So notice that my thighs are moving away from me. I'm not just curling my heel in like what I'm doing right now. So not this, but rather just reaching a little further, watching your thigh move away from you. Now last 4, both legs if you can. If your lower back hurts, continue with alternating legs. So hard to speak when I'm doing this. Last 2 here. Great work. One more time. Now lift the knee up, listen, with momentum, sit upright. Cross-legged position. This time step your feet down, hands behind, fingertips pointing towards the same direction as your toes, alright? Now have your hands a little closer towards each other, maybe closer to be underneath your shoulders. Then you're going to lift the bum up, push the knees forward into a reverse tabletop. And that's it. Hugging the inner thighs in towards each other. Then lower the bum down. Okay, let's try something a little harder, shall we? So I'm going to step my foot 1 step forward. Again, this is going to make it slightly harder. If this is not possible for you, you want to step your feet back in towards your bum. Alright? Ready? Lift up. Reverse tabletop. That's it. Hold it there. Can you spread all 10 fingers wide and you're kind of clawing your finger pads in towards the mat? Slowly lower down. Okay, the last one is going to be the most intense one and the hardest. If you feel that you cannot do this, then please take it to mid-range, stay where you are, or walk the heels in if you wish to go back to the first option, alright? If not, get ready. You're going to straighten your legs for friends who want to try the hardest. As you lift your bum up, touch your toes onto the ground, just opening up through your heart. Stay there. For 4, for 3, for 2, last one, slowly release. Bend the knees, step the feet down, drop down to your elbows, legs up, shin parallel to the ground, stay here. Now I'm going to go with both legs, but if this makes you feel really uncomfortable, option number 1, don't straighten the legs completely. Number 2, do alternating legs. I'll be doing equal numbers, alright? Get ready, straighten, then lower down, that's 1. We're going to do 8. So 7 here, 7 more to go. Lower down. Good. So if you're doing alternating legs, it should look something like this. 6. That's it. 5. You got 4 more here. You want to straighten, lower down. 3. Great work. Last 2. One more time. Now listen carefully. You're going to straighten up 45 degrees. Stay there. Hold it there. Now if you can't do this, bend the knees slightly. Okay? Then crisscross the thighs. So either legs straight or knees bent. Up to you. So crisscross the kneecap as much as you can. Not just the ankles, okay? That's it. Keep going. In 4. In 3. Last 2. One more breath in here. Slowly step your right foot down, left foot down. Lay your spine down onto the mat. This time you're going to walk your heels closer in towards your bum, hands by the side. Lift the bum off the mat, bone by bone, until you come into a shoulder bridge. So starting to just balance through the shoulder blades and both feet stepping onto the mat. Now notice that my heels are underneath my kneecap. It is not in front of my kneecap or behind. So just drawing the knees away from you, magnetizing your inner thighs towards each other. Okay, from here we're going to lower the bum down halfway only. Then lift up. That's it. Keep going. So bum down halfway. Then lift up, squeeze the bum. Good work. Keep going like this. Bum down halfway, lift up, squeeze. Great work. Starting to just come into this posture where you work into your glutes and also your lower back. You got 3 more here, lifting up. Last 2. Bring it up. Last one. Lift up, stay, hold it here. Now from here, shift your feet a little closer towards each other so they come and form a central midline. Lift the right leg up to tabletop, then hook your ankle onto your left knee. Again, if this really hurts you in your hips or somewhere in your body, your joints, you can have both feet down and do exactly the same thing. Alright? Get ready, hips down halfway, lift up. That's it. We got 8. We got 7. So I'm working into my left foot, pressing into the mat. So working to the left bum, left hamstring as well. You got 4 more times here. That's it. 4, 3. Last 2, bring it up. Last 1, lift up, hold it there, step the foot down. We're going to change to the other side if you can. If not, just stay with both feet on the ground. Left leg up to tabletop. Hook the left ankle over the right knee. Lift the hips up high first. Alright, ready? Hips down halfway. Squeeze bum, lift up. That's it. 7 more. Bring it up. 6. Bring it up. Last 5. 4 more here. 3. 2. Last 1. Hold it up. Stay. Great. Unravel the foot. Unhook the leg. Melt the spine down. Bone by bone. Last thing we're gonna do. Hands behind our head. 8 nose to chest. Here we go. 8. Bring it up. That's it. 7. If you like to, legs up at 90 degrees. 6. 5. Last 4. Just go a little higher through the shoulder blades. 3. So lifting pointy part of the shoulder blades off the mat. Last 2. 1 and hold. Stay there. Option, stay here or straighten both legs. Stay. Option number 3, extend arms forward. Pilates 100. In. 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 Last 2. Last 1. Hug the knees in. Nicely done. Just rock it side to side. Great work. Last 5 minutes of the class devoted entirely to stretches. So just prepare yourself to lengthen muscles that you just worked. Awesome job, guys. So if you took a break for 2 weeks, no problem. I hope that you're getting started again this week. And of course, if there are weeks that you find that the program isn't going on for some reason, you're more than welcome to do the past videos that I've done in the past 3 to 4 months actually. So the earlier ones are going to be slightly easier than leading up to intermediate level. Okay, feet flat onto the mat. Now, take a block or take a rolled out towel, something, or even a cushion if you like. Put it underneath your sacrum. Your sacrum is actually a big bone that is just above the tailbone, but underneath the lumbar spine. The lumbar spine is the arc of your spine. So don't place it here. My finger is pointing to my lumbar spine. Don't place it here. Place it below the lumbar spine, but it's not so low until it touches your tailbone. Okay? So somewhere in between is great. Just allowing the hips to be lifted. Option number 1, just stay here. Option number 2, you can straighten your legs to any degree. So it might be you might want to drag your feet forward. Just feel first. Especially if you ever had a lower back injury, I wouldn't suggest that you straighten your legs completely for now. Just mindfully step your feet 1 step at a time forward. Then just start to notice the sensations going through, especially parts of the body that has ever been injured before. See whether the intensity is right, because eventually time and gravity will make it more intense, at least by 30 to 50% more intense, okay? So don't be in a hurry to feel the sensations immediately. If you want to go for super straight legs, you can. And if you want a deeper back bend, an option is to have your feet towards each other, knees open, and this creates a little bit more bend through the lower spine. So again, this is completely up to you. If you want to start to open up through the heart as well, arms overhead, maybe holding on to opposite elbows, just like this. Then just close your eyes. We're going to be here for at least 60 seconds more, okay? So again, do whatever you want with your legs and arms. If not, just return back to that normal position of knees bent, feet flat, hands by the side. I'll let you know when your 60 seconds is up, so you're welcome to close your eyes, then start to Allow the body to sink into this supported back bend. You have about 30 seconds here. Now last 15 seconds, perhaps take two really long deep breaths. That inhale through the nose, the exhale is out through your mouth. Now at the end of your next exhale, slowly lift the bum up, slide the block away, allow your spine to melt. And that instant, you might always feel that sense of rebound, like that sense of helplessness, like you can't even lift your bum. It's very natural to feel that way, okay? Then just allow your spine to settle down into that neutral position. Now feet mat width apart, so on the edge of the mat, hands open up a little wider. Windshield wiper your knees, right, left, right, left. This is a short one here. Supine twist is where we're going to. So knee pointing towards your right, stay there. Hold it there. Chest facing up towards the ceiling. You can stack your right heel on your left kneecap if you wish. Then you can face towards your left shoulder, can face towards your right shoulder or up towards the ceiling. Actually, it doesn't matter. Just find a posture that actually gives you as much rest as you need, or at least a good stretch. So maybe facing towards your left shoulder when your knees are pointing to your right gives you a bigger stretch through the side of your right neck. The right side of your neck. I speak almost as if we have two necks. Okay, right heel away from your left knee. Come back up towards the middle. Drop both knees towards the left. Then you can stack the left heel on your right kneecap, maybe face towards your right shoulder. Just a few more breaths here. Okay, release the foot. Hug the knees into your chest, lift the head off the ground. Rock a couple of times forward and back. Take a seat onto your mat. Nice and easy. So if you have a block with you, can I invite you to place a block underneath your bum, because this allows you to feel a bit more lifted as you take a seat. And being a little bit more lifted in your bum allows your knees to descend down towards the ground, so you can actually feel the stretch through your inner thighs and your hip flexors, that crease line between your thigh and your torso. Just draw your heels closer towards the block. If you don't have a block, like I said, you can sit on a cushion, a thick rolled up towel. I'm trying to think of other things. A thick book, something that helps you to lift up, but not as high as a stool. Sit up nice and tall. 3 breaths, we're done, okay? So inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, release.